I hope for conversations that go on longer than they were supposed to. The kind that start about one thing and end up somewhere neither of you expected. Somewhere more true and more interesting and more revealing than where you began. I think you would be extraordinary to talk to like that. I think you have a mind that goes to interesting places, and I want to follow it there. I want to know what you think about the things that actually matter to you. Not the surface things but the underneath things. The things you believe about how people should treat each other. The things you're still trying to figure out. The things you've changed your mind about and why. I want all of those conversations. I want them to be ours. I hope for the kind of comfort that takes time to build. The kind that you can't rush or manufacture. That only comes from enough shared time, and enough honest moments, and enough choosing each other through enough different circumstances, that you develop this bedrock certainty. This knowing that whatever comes, you'll face it with someone real beside you. I want that with you. I want to be someone you trust at that level. I want to earn that level of trust slowly and completely and never take it for granted once I have it. I hope for the chance to take care of you. That might sound like a small hope, but it is one of the most genuine ones I have. I want to be someone whose presence in your life makes your life lighter. Not in a way that diminishes you or implies you need taking care of. You are capable and strong in ways that move me deeply. But in the way that love actually works, the mutual way, the way where you take care of each other, not because either of you is incapable, but because caring for someone you love is one of the most meaningful things a human being gets to do. I want to do that for you. I want to be a place you can put things down. I want the fact of me in your life to be something that adds to you rather than costs you. I hope for the chance to make you feel seen, in the way you have made me feel seen, just by being who you are. I hope for the chance to look at you the way you deserve to be looked at, completely, warmly, without missing anything, without reducing you to the easiest or the most convenient version of yourself, and have you feel it landing. Have you feel actually known, because you deserve that more than most people I've ever encountered. You deserve someone who looks at all of you and doesn't flinch, doesn't qualify, doesn't wish any part of it were different. You deserve someone whose eyes on you feel like home. I want my eyes to feel like home to you. And I know, that wanting all of this, and saying all of this, and finally being this honest, does not automatically make any of it available. I know that love confessed is not love guaranteed. I know that telling you how I feel gives you information but not obligation. I know that whatever you feel or don't feel, whatever this lands as for you, as something welcome or something overwhelming, or something that needs time or something you already knew, or something that surprises you, all of it is valid. All of it is yours to feel without any pressure from me to feel it differently. I am not telling you this to create an obligation. I am telling you this because secrets between people who care about each other create distance. And I have had enough distance from you. I have put enough distance between us with my own hands. I don't want to create any more of it, not even the quiet distance of an important truth withheld. I want to be close to you, honestly, completely, without anything between us that doesn't need to be there. And the truth I've been most afraid to tell you, the one underneath even the love, the one that sits at the very bottom of everything, is that I don't know how to go back to whatever we were before I understood all of this. I don't know how to unknow what I know about how I feel. I don't know how to look at you and not see the person I want with every honest part of myself. I don't know how to be near you and not feel the weight of everything I've just said pressing gently against the inside of every ordinary moment. I don't know how to pretend anymore. I'm not sure I have the capacity for it. I'm not sure, even if I did, that I would choose to use it. Because pretending would be a waste of something real. And what I feel for you is so real. It is the most real thing in my life right now. It is the thing I am most certain of in a life that sometimes feels very uncertain. You are the thing I am most certain of. And that certainty is not something I want to hide in the back of myself anymore, where it can't do anything except sit in the dark and wait. I want it out here, in the light, between us, where we can both look at it and decide together what it means, and where it goes and what kind of beautiful or difficult or extraordinary thing it might grow into if we let it. If you let it, if you're willing, if after everything I've just handed you, all the weight and the honesty and the confession of everything I've been keeping in the dark, if after all of that you're still here, still listening, still feeling something that matches even a fraction of what I feel, then I need you to know that I see you, that I have always seen you, that every wall I built and every truth I withheld and every moment I was less than you deserved had nothing to do with how much you mattered, and everything to do with how terrified I was of something this real. And now that the terror has finally become smaller than the love, now that I am finally standing here with nothing hidden and nothing managed and nothing between us but the truth, I need you to know that there has never been anyone like you, not in my life, not in anything I dared to imagine for my life. You arrived in a way I didn't prepare for, and changed things I thought were unchangeable, and made me want things I had quietly stopped letting myself want, and I have not to be the same since, because the before you version of me was surviving, and the after you version of me is something closer to actually living, and the difference between those things is enormous, and the name of the difference is enormous. The name of that difference is, the name of that difference is hope, real hope. Not the fragile, careful, keep it small kind that I had learned to ration like something that might run out if I used too much of it. Not the managed, realistic, don't get too attached kind that protects you from disappointment by making sure you never want anything badly enough to be truly hurt by not having it. But the full, open, unrationed kind. The kind that looks at the future and sees possibility instead of threat. The kind that wakes up in the morning and feels the day as something to move toward rather than something to get through. The kind that believes, really believes, in the body and not just the mind, that good things are not only possible but coming, that the best parts of life are not already behind you but still ahead, still forming, still on their way. You gave me that back. I need you to understand the magnitude of what I just said. You gave me something back that I had genuinely, thoroughly, without any dramatic moment of loss, but through a long, slow erosion, given up on. Hope of that size. Hope that isn't careful. Hope that doesn't protect itself. You handed it back to me without knowing you were doing it, just by being the kind of person who makes the future feel worth looking forward to. And I have been living inside that returned hope ever since, quietly, without knowing how to tell you, without knowing if I had the right to tell you, without being sure that telling you wouldn't somehow break the fragile and beautiful thing that had started growing in the space between us. But I'm telling you now, because fragile things don't get stronger by being protected from the air. They get stronger by being brought into the light and tended carefully, and given the conditions they need to grow into something that isn't fragile anymore. That's what I want to do with this, with what I feel, with what I'm hoping for. I want to bring it into the light between us, and tend it carefully, and give it the conditions it needs to become something neither of us has to protect anymore, because it has become strong enough to stand on its own. I want to tell you about what hope feels like when it comes back after a long absence, because I don't think people talk about that enough, the strangeness of it, the disorientation of suddenly having something you'd organized your whole interior life around not having. It doesn't feel like relief immediately. First it feels almost suspicious, like something you keep waiting to be taken away, like a gift you're not sure you're supposed to have, that you keep checking to make sure is still there, that you handle with this excess of care, because you can't quite believe yet that it's allowed to be yours. That's how hope felt when you started giving it back to me. Suspicious and fragile and extraordinary, and constantly surprising me by still being there in the morning. And then slowly, the way all deep changes happen slowly, it started to feel normal, started to feel like mine, started to feel less like a gift that might be revoked and more like a quality of my own life that you had helped me recover. And that shift from borrowed to owned, from gifted to restored, that shift is one of the most significant things that has happened to me. Quietly, without fanfare, while I was going about the ordinary business of my days, I became someone who hopes again. Someone who looks forward, Someone who wakes up and feels the day as an opening rather than an obstacle. And you are why. You specifically, with your specific warmth and your specific way of existing in the world, and your specific effect on the people lucky enough to be near you. You are the direct cause of that change in me, and I have owed you the knowledge of that for longer than I've been willing to admit. I want to tell you something else. Something that sits alongside the love, and the hope and the confession of everything I've been carrying. Something that is less dramatic than all of those things, but in some ways more intimate, more telling, more revealing of the specific texture of what I feel for you. It's something I notice about myself when I think about you, a particular quality of the feeling that is different from anything I've felt before, and that I think, if I can find the right words for it, will tell you something true about what this is. When I think about you, I feel calm. Not the kind of calm that comes from not caring. I've had that kind, and I know what it feels like, and it feels like nothing, like absence, like the emotional equivalent of a blank wall. This is a completely different kind. This is the calm that comes from certainty. The calm that comes from knowing, somewhere beneath all the fear and the complexity and the questions about what this is, and where it goes, and what you feel, and whether I'm enough, knowing that this, whatever this is right, that you are right, that the feeling I have when I think of you is not confused or misguided or the result of loneliness, finding somewhere warm to land. It's accurate. It's true. It points at something real. That calm underneath the fear is how I know this isn't just feeling. Feelings are temporary, and they shift with circumstances, and they're informed by mood and weather, and how much sleep you got, and whether the day was kind to you. What I have about you is not that. It's steadier than that. It has been present on the good days and the bad days, in the hopeful moments, and the frightened ones, when things between us felt close, and when I had put the most distance between us. Underneath all the variation of circumstance and mood and fear, the feeling about you has been constant, quiet and constant and completely certain of itself. That constancy is what I want to